an interesting experience when he was trying to figure out which match he was supposed to be refereeing. um,
Yeah, so the place he was on Saturday, there's actually two different local clubs that are based there now, as well as a local football team. I mean, it's just a huge expanse of
yeah,
fields that go on forever. And we were looking around, and I said, "Oh, they look like they might be under 11s because there's a couple of girls there. So go and find out." So he went over and said, "Excuse me, are you under 11s?" And the bloke turned around and says, "Yeah, you from the opposition team, mate." And he said, "No, I'm the referee." And with that, the bloke looked and went, "Oh, right, sir. Certainly, you'll need to speak to our coach just over there."
the concept of anyone calling Joshua Sir is a very pleasing one.
Yeah, and he's just not afraid of like telling them. Um, he had a situation where a player was arguing with him, and he turned around and said, "Who's the referee, me or you?"
Young Robert Hicks in the making.
Honestly, like, yeah, with his attitude, he will go far, I think, as a referee.
It's great though that he's enjoying it and is getting confidence out of it as well. And it does show, because we've talked a lot about his playing for the different teams he's played for and some experiences there, but this seems like really something he's pushing with himself, which is
Yeah,
really great.
yeah, and like Tony, who I mean, he does match commissioning and timekeeping, both Hull Rovers, and he was over at Wakefield at the weekend as well. He was telling Joshua sort of about some of his experiences, how he has travelled over to France with both teams and things like that. But he tends to be the senior referee that comes out with Joshua, and he's just so good with him, and really encouraging and supportive. And like I've seen him as a referee when Joshua's been playing, and he is all about development of youth, whether they are junior players. He'll stop the match and give some, general feedback along the lines of, "You're all failing to play the ball properly. This is what I expect, and if I don't get it, there'll be more penalties." Or whether it's, saying to Joshua, "Yep, keep going with that," or "Ignore that for now," or whatever, as a referee. So, it's great to have people like him around in the game.
So he's getting good feedback from his performances, from the way he's managing games, all of that sort of stuff, quite quickly, but
Yeah,
delivered in a really supportive way.
yeah.
That's
I mean,
fantastic.
anyone that's met Joshua will be most amused to know that the biggest criticism that they've got of him at the moment is that he's not quite loud enough always.
Fair enough. I'm sure he
And
can fix that.
yeah, he's had to be given a different whistle, one that blows a little bit louder as well. So, but all's good.
That's great to hear. My recommendation this week is the Rivington Brew Co. tap room. So the brewery tap room for Rivington. Rivington's a quite expensive craft brewery, I've got to say. They're in the higher price range, but that's because they produce some fantastic beers. But their tap room is right on the edge of Rivington Reservoir, so sort of near Horwich and
Hmm.
Adlington, Blackrod, that sort of area of the northwest, just below Rivington Pike and Winter Hill. So on the opposite side of the lake, and I went there on Sunday. I had a walk around Rivington Pike, and then went walked across to the brewery tap room, and you can sit outside, and the view of the across the reservoir to the hill on the other side and stuff is fantastic. It was really nice, and the way it's all set out, a nice they have a company there that does food, sort of not linked to them, but has a base there. Does pizzas and stuff that were really good. The beers were fantastic. If you don't mind paying a bit for your beers, I would strongly recommend people go there and check it out. I think it's sort of in walking distance from Adlington train station. It's only a couple of miles or so from there, so that's one option of getting there if you don't want to drive and not have to drink the fantastic beers. But yeah, that's my recommendation from this week.
Excellent.
I don't think I had anything else I was planning on covering. I think you've spoken about all the referee and stuff I definitely wanted to cover. We've got Alan next week. It's been a while. I'm just checking that out, actually. It's been about 5 or 6 weeks since we've had Alan on the show. He's been busy, he's been travelling, he's been cycling. So we'll catch up with Alan and all he has to tell us next week, which will be great to hear from him again. And in his classic after a cup round slot as well.
Definitely, I was thinking it's only right that it's Alan next week, isn't it?
Yep. So we'll have Alan on the show and we'll be recapping those quarterfinals from the Challenge Cup. People can get in touch, of course, about anything. If you've got objections or contributions to anything we spoke about tonight, or whenever you listen, it's at Super League Pod on Twitter and Instagram, facebook.com/Super League Pod, or superleaguepod@gmail.com. Also find out all the information on the blog post at superleaguepod.com. You can search for the show in terms of listening to us: Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podcast Addict, Stitcher, Spotify, Overcast, anywhere else you normally find your podcast. Make sure you leave a rating or a review if you can, and subscribe and all of that. Tell your friends if they don't already know about us, and we're on YouTube too, in not videos though. Don't worry, you don't have to see me wiping my snotty little nose tonight. Do you want to give a shout out to our friends, Sarah?
Yeah, so obviously we're sponsored by Rob's Megastore on eBay, and you can enter SLP10 at checkout to get 10% off your order. You can go to Little Warden for vital alerts for hidden issues. If you can go to littlewarden.com to see what they can do for you, or Sarah's Bookcase, where I sell Usborne books, and there's plenty for everyone to choose from, and you can find that over on Facebook.
Yeah, links to all of those will be on the episode blog post as well at superleaguepod.com. Help out our friends. That's it for this week, Sarah. I think we've got through pretty amicably, haven't we? Considering it was the first SLP derby of the year. It's been great to catch up with you as always, and we'll speak to you again soon. And everyone will hear from us all again next week on your favourite rugby league podcast, the Super League Pod. But for now, goodbye.
Goodbye.